First question. Coach, is that pretty much what you were looking for in the final preseason game and then the season?
I thought we did some good things. I thought we've got, I still think we got a lot to work on, but more positive than negative, and we can move forward. I thought the biggest positive I took from the day was we attacked them better offensively than we did last week. So that's good because they play. When they play, even with their second string bigs, they're still huge down there, and they're really good at directing the ball and icing the ball. And so I thought our guys did a much better job moving the ball. I thought our bigs were much more aggressive in taking shots and making plays. And I do think this group will shoot it better over time. Practiced them pretty hard yesterday. That was probably dumb, but that's okay. And as long as we continue to get good shots, that's good. Our defense needs to shore up quite a bit.
When you talk about your defense, with Vitor in the middle, it seemed that he gave you not just blocking shots, but his positional defense was pretty good for you.
I thought Vitor was really good. Vitor was really good. Now, I think the challenge for Vitor is, coming off of success, how do you handle that? And I think that he's shown nothing but a good maturity about him thus far. And I don't have any reason to think he won't handle it well. But, for a rookie out there, I thought he looked pretty darn good, even albeit an old one.
What made you decide to go with him in the starting lineup tonight?
I think just generally, and I don't know when Jared comes back if we'll start Jared or bring him off the bench. But I think generally we needed more length on the interior. Brandon and Jared are both going to play huge roles on this team, and whether they start or come off the bench doesn't really matter, because it's going to be nights like tonight where Brandon comes off the bench at 6 minutes left in the third quarter, and all of a sudden I feel most comfortable with him out there, and he's just going to play the rest of the way. So I think that there's going to be a lot of that, but I think having that length at the beginning of those games, that hurt us in a couple of these preseason games. You play Minnesota and they get you on the interior. You play Valanciunas and he gets you on the interior. Lopez the first time we played. So we thought more length was needed.
Brad, it seems like in a lot of games you're getting off a lot of balance offensively with a lot of guys between like 12 and 18 points. Is that basically what you're hoping for?
Mark, I think that's who we are. I think that's who we have to be. I don't think, I think obviously guys are very capable on any given night. Guys are very capable of being consistent. But we've got to be more of a collective unit than individuals. And I think these guys believe that. And I think, we've really showed that with a lot of the play in the preseason, although at times we missed open guys. We haven't missed open guys all that often. We need to get the ball in the post more, but for the most part, we share the ball.
Right, a lot of people look for the shot, the rebounding. Vitor seems to have really good instincts, reactions, and hand speed, foot speed. Are those underrated a little bit by people who don't exactly know the game as well?
He's got good hands. He's got great hands. You should see him throw a baseball pass right-handed, and then you should see him throw it left-handed. It's pretty remarkable. Maybe we'll have him do that Friday night at the Fan Fest. But he's a guy that does have some things that are hard to find in bigs.
Right, from where the team was at the beginning of the preseason to what you've seen all through and then to now, how would you say the progression has been, and where you guys still need to go, as the regular season?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that certain guys played a lot of minutes tonight, certain guys didn't play, and all those guys have to be ready. So I wouldn't call any of our lineups definitive, as definitive as I'd like, but I think that we're moving in a good direction, playing together, and hopefully our practice on Tuesday led to tonight, and hopefully our practice tomorrow leads to a good one Friday, and we can build day by day. But it's going to be a day-by-day process, and so anybody that gets bored with the process will be bored pretty quickly, because it's that's the way it's going to have to be with this group.
Coach, in terms of finding separation, you've got all the games behind you now, a week of practice. Do Do you get that sense from guys in the games, or having that week of practice, will that help you figure out exactly kind of who's good?
Well, everybody tells me the everything ramps up a notch starting next Wednesday as far as just focus and details and everything else. And I'm excited to see that. And at the same time, you have to recognize that everybody's focus and details is going up a notch. And so we have to become better in a lot of little things. And they are adding up when we're not. So we've got to make sure that we really, really drill down on the important things this week.
One of the things I know you've talked about, some of the guys have also is closing out games, closing out quarters in particular. Just your general thoughts on how you guys did in that area tonight.
This is going to sound really silly. I don't remember all that well. Obviously, I thought at the end of the game there were some things that were kind of frustrating, but I don't remember. I thought we closed out the second quarter pretty well. Don't remember the third. But bottom line is yeah, we're inconsistent in that area, as are a lot of teams right now. So we just got to get better at it. But I think, I don't put as much charade on closing out quarters as playing the right way all 48 minutes. So the first minute's as important as the last minute of the quarter to me.
Ran a lot of pick and pop getting Kelly and Vitor three-point shots as opposed to the typical big man mid-range shot. How valuable or unique is being able to get those guys three-point shots as big men?
Well, I didn't get them three-point shots. They got themselves three-point shots, and they have the ability to make them. I think they each made one. Kelly is still too passive shooting the ball. It's the one thing you can be critical about, because then, it's nice to be told to shoot more. So he needs to shoot it more for us. There's no question about it. But Vitor and him are both very capable, as is. Chris has made jump shots, Bass has made jump shots, and Jared's very capable. Although Jared hasn't shot it as well, I told him the other day I really believe in him shooting it. That said, I thought we did a much better job getting into the paint, getting to the foul line tonight. That's the first time I really felt like we were aggressively getting to the foul line at the rate where you need to be successful.
And you said before the game that you didn't really care about the results. You wanted to see your team play better. But then at the end of the game, you played a lot better in the last quarter. Was that just you wanted to win, or you wanted to see them in crunch time?
Yeah, well, there's two things about it. Sometimes, the competitive side of you gets the best of you, and then secondly was they needed to play minutes. Kelly sat for a long stretch there in the second quarter. I didn't want that to happen. Bass playing 18 straight minutes, the best conditioning he can get. Avery Bradley hadn't played hardly at all in the second half, and then put him in the last 4 minutes. The other thing is Avery's got to play at the end of games. He's got to get used to playing at the end of games. So there's a lot that went into it, but yeah, I'd say it was a combination of both. He's fine. From what I've heard, he's fine. I think he could have gone back in, but I'm not positive on that. But I think Doc took a look at him and thought he just got a little stinger in the arm.
Will Jared be limited at all in practice going forward?
From what I gather, Jared's just got the typical sickness. So I don't know anything more than that. So I wouldn't anticipate him being limited in practice. But anytime a guy's sick, there's no reason in having him around everybody.
Right.
And you hope he gets better, and there's no reason in extending that sickness either.
So it's not related to the back or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
At least that's not what I was told. So.
Do you have any thoughts on the new, more sensitive delay of game call?
No, I understand it. And I think the purpose of the delay of game call is to stop people from directing the ball away so that you can't take the ball out of bounds and advance it quickly. So I get it. And, we only had one delay of game today, so we're improving in that area, Baxter. So we're making strides.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.